The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure buried in a field, which a person finds and hides again, and out of joy goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant searching for fine pearls. When he finds a pearl of great price, he goes and sells all that he has and buys it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown into the sea, which collects every kind of fish. When they pull, when they when it is full, they haul it ashore and sit down to put what is good into buckets. What is bad they throw away. Thus it will be at the end of the age. The angels will go and separate the wicked from righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth. And again, this one, the fish fish part is very similar to that kind of idea of the wheat and the weeds. And I mean, I always thought of these as more the world, right? But if you're really like thinking about it a little bit more, I don't know. I guess I'm just wondering more than I have a solid answer. But is this more about um, the kingdom, right? Because if like the farmer sows the good seed, right, and then there's something sowed in among it, um, and even this, the capture, like they're hauling the fish in, they're catching fish. It's not saying all like they're gonna go and sort out all the fish in the ocean. They're just saying they're catching them all and then they sort them out. And so it's like, and is and if you relate that to the whole, being fishers of men and all that, like is it that yes, we know that as we are walking in faith, we are pulling in both kinds of fish, you know, um, and it's going to be corrupt things that come up, um, but at the end, that all will be sorted out. I don't know. Just wondering about that. Do you understand all these things? They answered, yes. And he replied, then every scribe who has been instructed in the kingdom of heaven is like the head of a household who brings from his storeroom both the new and the old. When Jesus finished these parables, he went away from there. Every scribe. Interesting. Let's see. He came to his native place and taught the people in their synagogue. They were astonished and said, where did this man get such wisdom and mighty deeds? Mm-hmm. Is he not the carpenter's son? Is he not? Is his mother not? Is his mother named? I got all these. The words keep getting scrambled. Is not his mother's name Mary? And his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Are not all his sisters with us? Where did this man get all of this? And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor except in his native place and in his own house. And he did not work many mighty deeds there because of their lack of faith. This one, actually, I have a ponder point on this one already. I think I used the passage that was in Mark, but same reference here. But it's very difficult to get past what people think they know. That's one of the things I have also realized as I've talking about previously, um, getting people to want to listen, to want to understand, um, is that I've heard it said, like, I can't hear you over the sound of what I think you're going to say. I've already decided who you are. I've already decided who this Jesus is. So I can't, even though I see evidence contrary to what I think I know, I can kill that thought in me, the new thought. Like, oh, it looks like hey, wow, this wisdom, where did he get it? Recognizing its wisdom and like but being able to say, well, no, it must not be wisdom because we know who he is. We already know who this person is. And just this down here, because of their lack of faith, because sometimes the Lord does things through people and circumstances that we do not expect. And oftentimes I have started to expect the things I wouldn't expect. Because sometimes I'm like, it's just happened so often where like, no, it would never be through that, or that wouldn't be a thing because that's a bad thing, or that's a this thing, you know? And but I've learned to let that go more. But but there is just, it steals our faith so much, even if we wanted to, and even if like there might have been some people who weren't skeptical of him in his own area, you know, like who didn't really, but when everybody starts talking about it and they kind of become like the consensus against it, it's very difficult to have enough faith to contend with, um, to be like the only one who doesn't agree with that, you know, that consensus. Like um, that's difficult. I live my life there, not agreeing with the consensus, but it's like so I'm just saying like, but it's still, even though like for example, in my what I'm saying, there's so many things I just don't. I see things differently. My world is different, and I see things differently than the consensus. But the things that I know and I'm trying to trust in and have faith. It's hard to have faith when people keep pushing against it, because in this world we are more comfortable with the idea of having faith in God working through something human than just having faith in God doing something however he friggin' wants to, right? Um, for example, oftentimes, and this has been on the rise in over my lifetime. Um, it, People don't say as often when you're praying for someone who's sick, right? I hear a lot of, you know, give the doctors wisdom and guidance and guide their hand and let this thing, you know, I hear a lot of that. It's way easier to have faith in that for some reason than to just be like, Lord, heal that person. You don't need to use doctors. You know what you're doing. You know, and not even for, because sometimes I've heard people pray a little bit that way, but it'll be also to the, so that the doctors find that there's nothing wrong and da, 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 you know, and all these things. And I'm just like, I just, sometimes I think we've gotten so used to the idea of God working through medical stuff or God working through, um, like if someone is struggling financially, like praying that their job or these other places, the Lord can do whatever he wants to make those things happen that need to happen, you know? And I'm rambling again. I'm just saying, like, I think that when you're willing to trust in faith and not have answers, it's very difficult because we have a tendency that we think, well, it should be like this and that person's this way. And um, I think real faith lets go of what it knows and accepts that it might not have any idea. And so that's where we have to just trust. But I'm going to shut up because I am, yeah, I'm yammering.